I'm sick, so sorry if I make a lot of disgusting sounds. Hey guys, it's Madison, and today on Whatever This Is, I'm going to talk about something near and dear to my heart that makes me kind of irritated just a little bit what we're going to talk about it anyway. And that dear thing is the band All-Star Weekend. That's not a band anymore, but we're going to talk about All-Star Weekend anyway. So if you don't know who they are, if you do just a little quick Google search, I'm sure you could look at the Wikipedia page, but if not, and you were a child in 2010 watching Disney Channel, you remember their song A Different Side of Me because they played that music video all the frickin' time on Disney Channel. So these guys were basically a band. I actually didn't get into them until like 2011, so like the next year when they like were done kind of doing things at Disney. Now the principal members of All-Star Weekend were Zach Porter, Cameron Keesing, Michael Martinez, and Nathan Darmody. Now, Nathan left the band in 2011, I think it was. Yeah, he did, because that's when All the Way came out. Now, they were very important to me. They were my first band. they were my first band, and they were like my gateway band. So like they got me into like everything I listen to now. So, they were very important to me. I mean, I had that exposure to them on Disney Channel, but I didn't really get into them until they released Not Your Birthday for that movie Prom. They had Not Your Birthday in it, and I didn't know that they like said a cuss word in that song. And of course, like when you're 15, that's like, whoa, said a cuss word in that song, because you know I was a very sheltered child. But so I was like, oh wow, they're actually like say bad words. They must be pretty cool. And my friend Maddie like already liked them a lot, so she got me into them as well. And so I started listening to that song, and then I started listening to other songs on their album All the Way, and I was like, wow, I'm like really into this. This is like really good music. And then I fell in love with them. And then I became part of the ADub fandom, and we were called ADubbers because AW said ADub. So we had a really big fan base on Twitter, and the ADubbers were awesome. We were one of the best fandoms. There was hardly any discourse, and it was just really nice, and everybody was cool. And I remember one time, not to like give myself a big head or anything, but one time there was a confession Twitter where like it was like ADubber confessions, and somebody was like, so many ADubbers on here are really funny, like, and they said me, my friend Julie, and a girl on there named Jordan, and a couple other people, and I was like, I'm funny? That's a first. But we all had a really good time, and everybody pretty much knew each other, and we corresponded, and I met some of my good internet friends through ADub, and I will never forgive them. I mean, never forget. I will always be grateful for them. There's other things I won't forget. Anyway, I'll always be grateful that they brought me together with so many people and introduced me to fan communities and fandoms, and really got me into more into music than I was. And they when they did the All the Way tour in early 13, or no, it was early 2012 when they did the All the Way tour, and they had those three opening bands. They had Before You Exit, Hollywood Ending, and was it the After Party, I think? Yeah. And then I got really into Before You Exit, and I was really into them, and this is before they started working with like Radio Disney and everything, and before they rebranded themselves as just the Three McDonough Brothers. So this was like in the time where it was made up of Connor and Riley and Braden and Thomas and Just Little Skies, and sometimes Toby did stuff with them. And I was like, oh, I like their sound. It's like garage bandy kinda, and it was like really cool, and I got really into them. And then I kind of got into Hollywood Ending, but I never like really liked them too much. I mean, I was just like a fangirl, so I had to be in as many fandoms as possible, I guess. And I got into One Direction in early 2012, and as well. And then I became a big One Direction fan. Not really in the 1D fandom anymore. I used to be. I still really like their music, but I've calmed down a lot since then. Because now I'm a big fan of Super Mega, and Jacksepticeye. Even though I don't act like I used to, I'm like standing off on the sidelines like, okay, I'll let you guys comment on the videos, but I'll just be over here making gifs of Matt Watson and not caring. Back to All-Star Weekend. So they're very important to me, and I even wrote my Jukebox musical around their album All the Way. So I enjoyed being a fan of ADUB for like a year and a half. A little more, like let's just say 2 years to simplify. So in 2013, in very early 2013, they did a live stream, because that's what bands did back then. They did a live stream, and they were like, we have a big announcement for you guys. And we thought they had 2 principal guys that weren't in the band at that time. So at that time, the band was made up of Zach Porter, Cameron Keesing, Michael Martinez, Brent Schneiders, and Dylan Anderson. Anderson was on keyboard, and Brent did, I think he did rhythm guitar. What did Brent do? I don't remember what Brent did, but he was there, and we all loved him. So we thought, oh, they're adding Dylan and Brent to the band, because Dylan had been with the band for a while, and Brent was, and we all just considered Dylan and Brent like in the band. So we thought, oh, they're going to be official members now. And I mean, their Twitter picture was all 5 of them, so it was like kind of misleading. And so so the live stream is airing, and I remember where I was in the car with my dad. So we were going to his house, and he let me borrow his phone so I could watch it. Because back then I didn't have an iPhone. So I was watching it in the car, and they said that they were going to disband the band and go on an indefinite hiatus after they finished being on Warped Tour. And I cried like a baby. I cried so hard. And we went to Frisch's. We were going to Frisch's, which is a restaurant chain, like the big boy chain. It's called Frisch's here. And we went to Frisch's, and I was just blubbering in the Frisch's. And I remember the waiter was like, I don't know what's wrong, but I'm really sorry. Like, thanks. Because at this point, you know, in 2013, I was 16 years old, and I was just really upset. I was like, no, they're ending. Like, and my dad was like, how do you think I feel? I'm old, and this band, I'm like, yeah, but you're old, and actually a lot of your bands are still together, so don't tell me that. So I cried and I cried, and we were lucky enough to get tickets to Warped Tour, and we saw them, and it was wonderful. And we had gone to the Summer of Love tour, and my mom had gotten us VIP tickets for my birthday. So we met them there, but we met them at Warped Tour too, and it was more public. We brought everybody gifts. We bought Dylan Disney Princess headphones, and they had little tiaras hanging off of them, and he put them in while we were standing there. We brought Michael a cat toy and a birthday card, because his birthday is in August. And then we brought Cameron. What did we bring Cameron? Oh, we bought him a giraffe. We bought him a stuffed giraffe. We got Zach a t-shirt that said, like, America on it. And then we got... Okay, it's a really weird inside joke. But they used to do a stream every Wednesday called The Weekend Show. And they had a running gag on there about James McCartney. And so we bought this, like, touch, like, you know those children's books where you, like, touch it and it makes a sound, like, and there's, like, cues in the story? Well, we bought an Elmo potty training book, but we printed out a bunch of pictures of James McCartney and just taped his face over Elmo. And for some reason that was really funny. We don't know if he, like, liked it or not, because he wasn't out there with everybody. But that was what we gave to him, and I was just like, I can't freaking believe that we did that, but whatever. And when the band ended, I was really upset, but they made a new band called the Tragic Thrills, and now the only person left in there, I think, is Zach. All I know is that Zach Porter is a pasty asshole, and I hate him because he broke the band up. And I understand he wanted to move on and do a different sound, and that's definitely his decision, but he, in the later years, he just became the biggest asshole. He didn't love the fan base anymore, and I really don't know why, because we definitely weren't the one Deer fandom. It just, everybody got really fed up with him, and he left. It was like they left the band on bad terms. But I just wanted to get all my feelings out about All-Star Weekend, because I haven't talked about them in a really long time, and I will always love their music. They produced my favorite album of all time, All the Way, and I don't know. I just have a lot of feelings about All-Star Weekend, and some of you are like, oh, some of you guys will probably be like, oh, they're suck, or they're a Disney band. It's like, that's why they ended the band. They wanted to get rid of that stereotype, but then they ended up making a stupid hipster folksy shit, and I was like, oh, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I really wasn't into it, so. But, I mean, some people were, and you know, they did that awful thing where they made a Kickstarter for the new All-Star Weekend album, and a bunch of people backed it, and they met the goal, and then they decided to change the band. And so you got the music for the new band. You're expecting new All-Star Weekend stuff, and it was a very different sound. And it was very disappointing to the people that backed the Kickstarter, because there's people who spent thousands of dollars. They paid thousands of dollars because some of the incentives were going on a date with Cameron, or going horseback riding with Cameron, going to Disneyland with one of the guys, like. And people didn't get the product that they were expecting, and it was very disappointing, and a lot of people were very upset about it. So yeah, I have a lot of feelings about All-Star Weekend, and I'm sorry that that's all this video is about, but you know what, I had to get it out, and I was trying to make a video today because I don't think I made one last week. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video and listening to me rant. If you liked it, tap that like button, and if you want to see more, click the Oscar pane and subscribe. Thank you for watching again, and I will see all you beautiful people next time. 1 minute. Chicken Finger Fingers! I forgot about that album.